Good evening. I'm out with Mr. Ferguson. Well, it's Friday off tomorrow, so it's Thursday evening. I'm going for a massive walk tonight. I'm taking the dog with us for the first few mile, and Linda's going to pick him up. Then I'm going to continue up Hadrian's Way, and then we'll cross over the river and come back the other way. Then we'll do a bit. Oh, seems a bike behind us there. Then we'll do a bit of the Derwent walk. I'm going to retrace my steps and see how many miles I can get. I got 35 miles last time. Let's see if I can improve on that. We're here behind the steelworks, taking in the shade because it is quite hot. And I'm hoping by the time we get along by the unshaded bit that's going to cool down a bit for the dog, because it is getting rather warm. It's about 6 PM. So that's what's happening anyway. See how far I get. And here we have our first glimpse of the big river and the big the big city and the numerous bridges. Our first glimpse. But I think I'll keep the high road because there's a bit shade along there. What a wonderful evening. That's looking up the other side of the river where we're going to be heading shortly in about half an hour, or maybe across there. Maybe it's half an hour. There's the Sage. There's the Baltic, Millennium Bridge, quayside, boats, stuff like that. There's the Tyne Bridge with the sunset. It's going to set behind there later on. Dog's a little bit hot. I'm a little bit hot, but it is more shaded than I was expecting. And I think the far side is more or less all shaded. So we'll get on with this, I think. A lot of people down there, Sutton Hill. So I've passed the Eel place now. I'm not as jealous, but the wind's getting up, the temperature's dropping, and I'm glad. And do you know the Campbell's got a restaurant there, just in the middle distance? Didn't know that. I'll not be going there. Crossed the Millennium Bridge. It's the first time I've crossed there when there's been a lot of wind. I don't know if I can see the wind now on the mic, but the bridge was getting blown all over. It's the first time I've been seasick of a bridge. I got off the other side and it felt as though I was still on the bridge, getting shook to bits. How many miles we're into at the minute? Oh, only 4 miles in at the moment. So, and this is where I said where we'll be when I was across there. I said we'll be about there, across there in about half an hour. And this is where I am now. It's like concentrated cobwebs. I've never seen this before in my life. Anybody knows what it is? Answers on a postcard. So as I mentioned before, we're on Hadrian's Way. It's not much of a... The dog's just pulling us along there. It's not much of a... There's nothing any Roman signs of anything Roman. But believe me, buried underneath here will be Roman artifacts. There'll be like pots, Roman coins, like flip-flops, sandals sort of things. And what they discovered was all the flip-flops and sandals they discovered were small. So back originally they thought that these Roman centurions were great big guys, big strapping 6 foot odd, well built. But as it turns out, they were no bigger than Gino D'Acampo. We're just little guys, but they were very good at building walls. So that's just a little bit of history for you there. A bit of Mark's history. I think the dog was delirious with thirst, and I was starting to get a bit thirsty as well. But we're here now on the site of the old... No, it's not, sorry, it's not the site of the old power station. This is the site of where Blaydon Race used to take place. The power station, which I've just mentioned, was on the other side of the river. The houses. So we've done nearly 9 mile. I've got about 45 minutes until it's time for Linda to pick the dog up. Then I'm going to continue up the river to Wylam, cross over, come back down on this other side of these houses are on what's called, this is Hadrian's Way, That's Keelman's Way across the other side of the river. I'm going to go down Keelman's Way, then hit the coast to coast, up the coast to coast until I've done 25 mile. Then I want to turn around, retrace my steps, hopefully. See how it goes, eh? Only got another 41 mile to go if I do it. But getting rid of the dog's a big bonus. Like, it's, you not be stopping and sniffing and things like that, so I'll be able to make better progress, I think. And get some food, which is in the bag that Linda's bringing with her. New Burn Riverside Country Park now, just waiting for Linda. I was hoping she was going to be here when I got here, but she was late. So for like quick, like a pit stop, just drop the dog off, pick me the bag up and off straight away, but I'm losing valuable time here, like. If you can't find it, I might as well just pack it, I'm losing everything what I gained by leaving the house earlier. Dog's sick as a chip. Right, aren't you sick as a chip? Right. Then that turned up, obviously, with 2 minutes after I put the camera away. Luckily, she was only a couple of minutes late, it's not so bad. Back on track. Got rid of that dawn, got rid of that pesky dog, and got about an hour left of the light. And by that time I should be more or less to Wylam. Cross over, and then back down the other side, across there, across the big river, which is right in Willows. Now we'll continue down past that new estate, and then make our way to Swallow. We'll down walk, and then come back. And the hardest part of this walk is going to be when I go to Down Walk and come back, and I get back to Swallow. If I turn left, it's only 2 mile back to home. If I turn right, it'll be about 16 mile back to home. That's going to be psychologically very difficult, and I'm going to psych myself up to get past that point. That's if I get that far, like. We'll see. Name that crop. And it's 10 o'clock now, lights fading fast. Quite a nice sunset across there for the camera, I'll pick it up. This is George Stevenson's cottage. Well, sorry, it's not his cottage, it was his mum and dad's cottage. That's where he was born, back in the day. Somebody living in there, like, but it's open as a cottage for visitors certain times of the year. Right, so I'm getting a bit hungry now. I'm going to try and find a little bench to sit down, grab a bit of pizza, some chocolate, and maybe a drink of water as well, or a drink of Coke. Don't know. See how I feel when I get there. I've got a feeling with it being 10 o'clock at night, and when I get to pick my bench today, I'll have it all to myself. So normally you get there, that I'm like cycling up here or walking up here, and I always have this little bench where I like to sit and have me next to the river, have me sandwiches or whatever. And when you get there and somebody's sitting on it, it's like soul destroying. When you've walked so far to get there, like 13 mile, and you get there and there's somebody on it. Anyway, it's not a good feeling. There's that sunset across there. Beautiful. Nice up in the hills. We can pick us up. There's blue light. Right, this way. I turn that way, it's 2 mile home. If I turn that way, it's 18 mile home. Like the saying goes, pain's only temporary, quitting lasts forever. So I'm going this way, the 18 mile way. Let's see if I last the 80 mile. There is. We are cut a bit short. On the way at the end is cut short on the way back, but we'll see how it goes. It hasn't been too bad through the night. I'm up to about 30 mile now. No, 32 mile I think. Is it? 32? 30? Let's have a look. Yeah, 30 mile. We're 30 mile, so it's 20 mile this way. Even worse. But never mind. Back at Newburn, where I dropped the dog off a Linda last night, across the other side of the river there. Now, one of me exit strategies could be to cross that bridge and turn right, go down that way, but I'm not going to. I keep on going to Wylam, cross at Wylam, and then back down the other side. I might as well keep going. I've come this far, you know. I think I see what's the point in giving up. I've got the rest of the day off. Just gonna be spent in bed, like. But I'll enjoy my sleep. I think I've almost been on the go, and that was about 4 to 5 now. So I've almost, well, I've been on the go now for 23 hours. I've been walking for 12 hours. But I'm looking at 15-16 hours altogether walking. Never mind. Do us the world of good. Through here is the landslip of Certain Terror. Through there. So I'm going to turn round, so I'm not going through that landslip, and take the diversion. Well, it's 40 mile. I'm at Newburn, just before Newburn. So I've got 10 mile left. I'm quite knackered now, like. Just had change of socks. Got some blisters on my feet. Blisters where I don't normally get blisters. They're not causing us any grief, like, they'll be alright. I'm knackered, absolutely knackered. I need my bed, but I'm only at this 10 mile done. I've got to, I've promised myself. And I said, what about breakfast at Tiffany's? I said, I've forgotten my bloody bank card. I'm starving and I want some, but I can't have any. I asked them where they were off to. They said Cambridge. I says, hey, you got room for a fat lad? Drop us off at Dunstan. They said no. Oh well. Shy Ben's getting out. Worth a try. Gone the wrong way now anyway. Heading for Carlisle now. Hadrian's Way. The Roman flip-flop path. So named after the Roman Emperor Flippus Floppus. I'm knackered now, like. I've got about 6.5 miles to go. I'm going to do it though, I'm pleased I want to do it. My last chance to duck out was back there at Scotswood Bridge, but I've walked past it. The only way I could cheat now is I could knock a mile off it by crossing the Swing Bridge instead of the Millennium Bridge, and it's only a mile. I might as well do it. Might as well. It rounds it off for us. So, one last look at the Flippus Floppus path. The worst part about it, you know, is I just live across there. Well, behind them houses, sort of thing. I'm always 3 or 4 yards behind them houses. And obviously, if I walk that way, it's like 4 mile, 4.5 mile. If there was a bridge across there, I'll be home in 5 minutes. But unfortunately, there's not a bridge. So put them thoughts out of your head, Mark. Oh, it's a welcome sight. You can see the bridge is clearly now. And we're heading all the way down to that white arched one past the Tyne Bridge. Last time I was here with Mark and Andy, Mark decided he wanted to get back as quick as possible to watch, I think it was football or something, or it was a pub opening or something else. So I went across that one there, and there's no way on earth I'm going to walk across that one again. It's like the bridge of terror, certain terror. So it's frightening, I find. Anyway, I'm going to walk all the way. I've got to do any other distance. I'm walking all the way down there. And there's a reason why we have so many bridges here. But I'm going to go into that in another video sometime. I'm going to try and do a video based solely on the bridges of the Tyne. So I'll have to do a bit of planning. I'm going to try and make it quite interesting. I can, historical things like that. Nothing made up, nothing about Romans or anything, or Saxon, Anglo-Saxons out. Just proper history. Maybe. Back across the river there, the pile of bricks used to be the Vaseline factory. They used to make one, it was like an oil refinery, but it wasn't, it was the Vaseline factory. Unfortunately, it was a victim of Brexit. They've now switched production to Honolulu. So, it's not all good, is it? Devon Gordon. I think Titchmarsh had something to do with it. I'm sure Jodie Fellwater is going to do the box hedges once they get bedded in. It's not much of a hill, but it's going to hurt. I can tell you that much. It's going to be slow. It's a sting in the tail, but I'll get there. So, all in all, I'm feeling a little bit tired. My legs isn't too bad, my feet's okay. A bit of pressure blister on them, but nothing that'll just go, they'll just go yeah. They don't cause any bother, any pain. I had a sore neck the first few miles, first 10-20 miles, but I've kept on stretching it out and that's fine now. So it's going to be 10:30 before I get home, so it's took us an hour longer than I anticipated. But again, I've stopped 3 times. And I have just dawdled along the quayside, taking a few bits of video and that. And I've enjoyed it. I've achieved my objective. Well, I am going to achieve my objective unless I get attacked by Zulus in this forest. But no, I'm happy. I mean, the last time I did my Friday off, my aim was 40 mile and I did 35, which to be honest I should have been well chuffed with, but it niggled us because I wanted 40. And the 5 mile, I could have done it, but it was just all up here telling us not to. This time I made sure that this is not being allowed to take us away from the objective, and I'm happy with that, because to be honest, most physical things are mental. You're probably talking 30% physical and the rest just mental. The human body can push for a lot longer than people think it can, and if you've done a little bit of training, you've done a little bit of hill walking, and you do a little bit of running, it doesn't matter if you're not the fittest bloke or the fittest woman in the world. It's just give it a go, and just different. It's hard, it's easy to give up. It is easy to give up. Keep on pushing, and then at the end of it, you'll just feel just amazing. Tired, so you're going to say to yourself, I'm not going to do that again. But believe me, once you've been in the shower, and you've had a couple of hours sleep, and you've cracked open a tin of beer or a glass of wine, you'll be thinking the next one straight away. Believe me, you will be. There's a little bit of art installation up there, and this here was the abutment for the original Redhoof Bridge. That's the new Redhoof Bridge. I didn't like that bridge. Mark Stoker loves it, but I didn't like it. And here that's just a bit of artwork, and that was the old abutment for the bridge. And that bridge, I'll try and find a photograph and I'll stick it in the video. That bridge, it was just like Meccano. Honestly, it wasn't Meccano set. Unfortunately, fortunately to be honest, because it was in a terrible state of repair. And that there was the toll house on the right hand side, a tall thin building. And I believe there is somebody living there at the moment, whether they own it or they rent it, I'm not sure. But we'll head along here. We've probably got in there 2 mile max, 1.5 miles, 2 mile, half an hour, 40 minutes, and I'll have my final little say and we'll get back to the house. Back, I've done it. Shower, bed, sleep. Catch us all later.